Man, oh man, you are listening to the All Burgundy and Gold. You listen, go with everything. This is breaking news, but anyway, we're powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Man, breaking news. I'm gonna say it again. Jack Del Rio, defensive coordinator, is out of Washington. He was fired today. You know, Ron and his DB coach as well. So this is breaking news. Yeah, Glenn, man.
Yo,
you got the news, man. Your thoughts, bro?
Long overdue. I got up early this morning, to look at my phone. Like, okay, when is this going to take place? I didn't think it would be Jack Del Rio today. I thought it would be Ron Rivera, personally. Mm-hmm. I thought it'd be Ron, but that shows you how, how loyal Ron Rivera is. That he didn't want. He knew this day had to come, but he didn't want to throw his boy underneath the bus, right? Look how long it took for him to get rid of Scott Turner, right? And so Ron Rivera had to make a move. He knew he had to make a move. He's only saving himself until the end of the year.
Yeah. It's wild. Go ahead.
Even if the defense improves, because his new role, right? He has the new role of calling defensive plays.
Yeah.
He's the new play caller, right? So we'll see if the defense is different in 10 days or not. When they take on, I believe it was the Miami Dolphins next.
Yep, the Dolphins are next.
Yeah, as they take on the Dolphins next, we'll see if the play calling changes. But he used we all knew Del Rio had to go, but we wanted Ron we wanted to be a package deal. This Black Friday, people getting a lot of deals and bundles. We wanted a bundle too. Like we wanted to get rid of 2-for-1 deal. You know what I'm saying?
For me, I was thinking that both dudes may stay throughout the season, but I did feel that if one was gonna get fired, it'd probably be Jack Del Rio. I even said that before. Like I felt like Del Rio was the guy that could easily get fired, right? Because Ron can always say, well, he can always lean on this situation, right, where he can call plays on the defensive side of football. I know a lot of people are talking about maybe a Ryan Kerrigan or maybe the official D lines coach, but I think this is what I ain't say best situation, to be honest with you, because I just feel like this move. I'll say this much: this move should have been happened. Should happen a while ago. To be honest with you, Ron has coached. Ron in that Carolina defense is totally different from what they do here in DC. You know what I mean? It's totally different. And Jack Del Rio runs a different system. And Ron has had success with Sean McDermott, who's now in Buffalo. And they ran a different system. And it always bugged me that they didn't run that system here in DC. And yeah, I just hope they don't. I hope the defense stays the same. I hope it stays bad, because I'm gonna be really pissed off if Ron could have made this decision earlier and this defense would have been 10 times better. Right. Like I would be annoyed at that, because then you're being like, now you're just being stubborn just to be stubborn. Like everybody knew that Jack was a problem. Like I said, we said this before, even because this team was talented defensively, I felt like they overshadowed some of the things that Jack did as a play caller. And then having Chris Harris too in the building did make the secondary better. But when he left, you see what happened. They haven't been the same secondary. And also you letting talented players leave the building, so your defense is going to take a hit if you can't scheme up things to kind of hide the deficiency of your defensive players. We said this before. Like I've seen D coordinators here in DC work with much less and get more out of their talent. And Jack Del Rio to me has not gotten a lot out of his talent. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that he's gone, but I'm like it's too late for me. Like this should have been a thing that happened
week 3.
To be honest with you, after the Bears game.
That's the Bears game.
To be honest with you, so this does nothing for me. If he does, again, if they do improve, then it's shame on you, Ron. Really, it is. It just. I know it's. I mean, I commend you. I commend him for being loyal, but it's shame on you.
It shows his incompetence. I'm gonna go put this up there for our main man. It shows his incompetence. If it's on him, if the defense does improve, Stephen, and they do look better after this, that shows you Ron Rivera's incompetence, because he should have did it a long time ago, right? As a coach, you got to understand you are the captain of the ship. So you got to know when to make moves. You got to know when to fire, when to hire, when to let go. They were willing to make the move to let Chase Young out the door and Montez Sweat out the door, And then if you knew that you was better off at calling the defense and it would change, you should have let Jack Del Rio out the door and get 2 pass rushers, right? And that could have saved some trouble, could have added some wins, right?
Yep, possibly. If he's a better coordinator, yes.
Yeah, if he's a great coordinator, it could have added some wins here. I think he just prolonged it and inevitable. That the fact is that we all know that Ron is still going to go. Ron's still going to leave. And so he has to be able to maneuver that. I'm sure he met with Harris. He met with Johnson. They had a conversation. And Ron, this is what you need to do, right? But I think you could have did the other way. I think you could have did the option. I think you could have let Ron Rivera go and kept Del Rio, and you might have changed some things up that way, or promoted somebody else. Or you could let both of them go, and you let EB pick whoever he wants. It's not like Ron calls the offense anyway. So you could have did some other things. And I know he's a GM, but for Ron Rivera to make the announcement, to me is like, dog, you saving your job. They should be announcing that you're fired today, and you're not announcing that I'm fired.
Yeah, for me, all right. So it's also the DB coach is Brett Wieselmeyer. Yeah, I think I said his name right. And have you seen this DB? And he's Jack's boy. Did you see his resume?
Yeah,
bro. He was before coming to Washington. He was a high school head coach.
Yeah.
And then you promote him to your DB coach. When Chris Harris leaves,
he skipped the level. I mean, there's some guys who are talented.
I mean, he coached in the league prior with the Raiders. He's under Jack's staff. He's Jack's boy. But look at
don't hire your boys. Don't hire your friends. I've learned a long time in business. In business. Sometimes you don't hire your friends because again they'll burn you, and this dude burned you. And matter of fact, St. Juice almost kind of said it like, "Yo, they're not teaching us anything. They're confusing us."
Facts. All right, so I'm gonna read some comments out here on our social media platforms on Facebook. George said he asked who's coaching the defense. It's gonna be Ron Rivera. Coach Rivera because Armand. It's the same thing. Why fire Jack after trading both Tez and Sweat for a lack of production in a system that has now proven to be trash? Look at both of them now in San Fran and Chicago. Exactly. Why trade him if you're going to that's the point. Like this Jack, the players have pretty much voiced that Jack was Jack's system. The system is a problem. Your remaining players are saying the same thing, regardless of how if they're good or not. Your remaining players are saying the same thing. Stephen said he's coaching on autopilot. Agreed. And also, I don't think he didn't make the firing. That was definitely to me. It came from Josh Harris. So you got to do something. It came from Josh Harris. We should have kept chasing Tiz. Agreed, man. Really do. And also, Stephen said, in no way has EB proved to be a head coach yet, but it's not like it could have been any worse. Yeah, he hasn't proven yet. He hasn't had enough. It's all about the opportunity, though. You know what I'm saying? I've already heard rumblings. I think a reporter put out there that a few players wish that Ron took most of the control away from EB, and I'm like, you all are soft. You all are soft.
We said this last night, right? Look at what happened to Cincinnati. I mean, Kansas City. Sorry, Kansas City. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says. EB is gone. Kansas City point total is going down. Some may say maybe it's receivers, but I'm gonna say, guess what? They didn't have receivers last year.
They didn't either.
They won the freaking Super Bowl, right? It's not like Juju Schuster was burning it up last year, right? Yeah. They still won. So EB has added difference because I don't think Sam Howell will be where he was at if it wasn't for EB. This offense wouldn't have been where it was at if it wasn't for EB. Now, if they had a better offensive line, probably put up more points. But again, I think people want EB to have a shot, to give him a chance. And I think that's the biggest thing. Opportunity. You gave Ron Rivera a chance, and he only had 3 winning seasons as a head football coach, right? Yeah. I mean, Jack Del Rio gave him a chance. Good God, you gave Scott Turner a chance based off his name, right?
Yeah. Facts.
Names. So again, back to the defense. This firing had to take place. They gave up 30 points in 7 games this season. Yeah. They give up 29.2 points, and it's not even and a lot of it's who they gave up 30 points to, right? You gave up 30 points to to a Giants team who only scored 12 points. They was averaging 12 points a game, right? You gave at the time when you lost to the Bears never hadn't hit 30 all season long, right? Denver was Denver got off to a big jump start, and you had to come back to win that game. So you give up 30 points to teams that you shouldn't give up 30 points to. And that's, I think that was the biggest issue. And you're looking terrible doing it. And the fact that people watched last night, the Dallas Cowboys put up 25 points in like 8 minutes.
Bruh.
It made it even worse.
Terrible. We lit, man. Appreciate you, homie. Ray said post-game the players privately expressed their support for Ron and said, what would the difference be if you fire Ron and leave the coordinators? The players are soft, so I don't really care about the players. With that performance on Thanksgiving, the players are soft.
Well, is it all the players or is it secondary?
They're all soft. They ain't getting pressure, did they? Did the secondary did the dude line get pressure?
No, I'm asking the question. I know the answer.
Nah. They're all soft, right? At this point in time, they're all soft.
Because they only touched Dak Prescott 2 times.
They barely touched them. They're all soft. At this point, they're all soft. I really want to see what changes if any Ron makes on the defense. Look, man, I've been saying this for a while. I would like Ron to run his Carolina stuff. That's all. Like, granted, people want to say Sean McDermott did most of the work, but I would like to say that I would like to see. But Ron is knowledgeable of that system. I don't care if Sean McDermott, they work together, so he knows the system. I would like him to run his stuff and that aggression. If you watch Carolina play, that was an aggressive style of defense. I know they had Luke Kuechly. I know they had Luke Kuechly and Tommy Davis. They don't have the same linebackers, obviously, but you have guys who can. Well, you have a guy in Jamin who can run. Cody Barton's supposed to be a good runner. I mean, a good cover linebacker was supposed to be. So you got supposedly have guys who can run. So why not try to implement something similar to that? Steph said, same players that complained about EB being too hard, soft-ass players. I agreed. That's why I don't really. That's why it's like when players say something about these, like they're soft. Like anything when I'm hearing about EB, like just hearing recently about a certain reporter who I think tends to not like EB. That's my opinion. It was like said that these players came out and said that they prefer Ron take some power away from EB. You know what I mean? I'm like, why? What is Ron proving to? What is Ron proving?
Coach. Yeah, he's the assistant head coach. Ron Rivera is giving him the power because Ron. Let's be honest, and can we here we talking about the firing of Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera moving up to the defensive coordinator, taking over the defense. Let's be honest. What was Ron doing anyway, right? But when you take a personality like EB that came into the room, Ron couldn't say too much to him. Ron had given up anyway. EB came in and brought life back to this organization offensively. He brought life back to this team. Scott Turner wasn't doing anything. EB brought a little bit more excitement to what the offense was doing. EB was able to develop a young quarterback. What did Scott Turner able to develop? None. Right? Let's see. What quarterback in Ron Rivera's years of coaching has he developed? And don't say Cam Newton.
Has he truly developed?
He hasn't developed. Yeah, they truly developed. He didn't develop.
They didn't like Dwayne. Dwayne was bad. Supposedly, he was really bad. They didn't like.
He hasn't developed any, and that's Ron has not. In none of the places he's been, he's developed any quarterbacks to be to the top notch level. So you have a guy like EB who come in who's developing a Patrick Mahomes who took an offense. They may not like him, but guess what? People didn't like Marty Schottenheimer, but he took a team. He went 8-8. Right?
That's true.
They didn't like Tom Coughlin and the New York Giants, but he won 2 Super Bowls. They didn't like Bill Parcells. They didn't, right? But he won Super Bowl. They don't like Bill. People don't like Bill Belichick, but he wins Super Bowl because of the hard-nosed way that he coaches players, and he expects you to be a player, not to be soft. So
I agree.
Softness don't win championships.
My man, be simple. 422. Everybody deserves a little bit of the blame. We just don't have consistency on this team and no effort. To me, that just comes from coaching. You got to set a tone, man. Like there are teams out here. Like I'll just use our team. I always use this reference because it's just, to me, that was the best sense of coaching I've seen in a long time here. And I'm just talking about one unit. When Greg Williams came to DC as defensive coordinator with Joe Gibbs, when he came in that year, man, like he set a tone and a culture. I don't know if y'all remember the defense prior. Like that defense wasn't good. He came here and made this defense a top 3 defense, and that was by tone. And to be real, they didn't have like a thorough pass rusher on the defensive line, so he manufactured pressure and everything. So it wasn't like he didn't have a good front four, he didn't have a pass rusher front four like that. And he came in and changed the culture and just the temperature of everything. That's to me is what you want in a coach. Like, not to say a head, I'm talking about a position coach or whatever, or any coach. That's what you want. You want to change the culture. That's changing a culture. That's changing a vibe. Great. We didn't have a guy like that. I think EB is doing that with the offense, and he's trying to do it. But I feel like with Jack Del Rio, you can't say that Jack Del Rio had this team play above their talent level.
No,
you can't say that. Like, and that's to me is coaching. Like he had guys in the building that a lot of teams, a lot of scouts valued. You know what I'm saying? And they graded high. And yeah, they were top 10. You know what I'm saying? They were a top 10. But I've always said top 10 shouldn't be good enough. You shouldn't be aspiring to be a top 10. We had Bashar Breeland on the show. Breeland told us on the post game, on one of the first post game of the season, I believe, said that this team has a bend but don't break defense. I'm like, good God, why would you want to say that about a guy with why would you say that when you have talent on that front four that should not be that way? You know what I'm saying? You look at teams like Baltimore up there upstream. You see teams like Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? There's a mentality that's being coached out there. Like, and you know, that comes from the top. You know, Glenn, like when you're saying, like when you're talking about who's going to portray that, like you don't have any coaches like to portray that type of message. It comes from the top. It comes from your head coach. You got to create that culture, and they don't do it. I'm gonna read this.
I mean, guys like Mike Tomlin. Look at Tomlin. Tomlin create that culture, and those that are soft, that Le'Veon Bells, your Antonio Browns, they couldn't handle it. They had to go.
Yeah, and Armand also put out there the players are soft because Ron has allowed a soft culture since he's been here. Agreed. EB at least challenges his players to be better. Agreed. Ron wants to inspire them. He ain't Joel Holstein.
He does the Joel Osteen approach.
Yeah, this is true though. This is true.
Soft volume and soft. I would tell y'all something, but the people may watch it and know. But I know somebody like that. You gotta have
there's a good one too. Stafford said if it wasn't for Taylor Heineke, Ron wouldn't even know about Sam.
Which is true. He said that. True. Ron said that actually. Man.
George says Ron is not a good judge of talent and heart of a player.
That's why he shouldn't be a GM. It takes a special.
Been a GM. Should have never been a GM.
Never been a GM. It takes a special person to be a GM and coach.
Great, I agree. Big Simple 422 said I feel like whatever head coach comes in here, and I want the players to play freely, and head coach put them in a better position to succeed. Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. You want players to play fast. That's your goal. You want them to play fast and play and fly. If you're on defense, you want to see them flying to the football. That's what you want.
You have to evaluate your talent and base your defense on what you have, right? Some years you play in a 4, some days you play in a 3. In an NFL, you have the luxury. If you want to come in with a 3 front, right? You go get your big noses like Vince Wilfork and your Tony Siragusas and those guys, because this is what you're designed. You have players in here that know how to coverage. We talked about this. If you a cornerback where press man is your thing, right? Cover one is your thing. Then you go get cover one receivers. But you got guys that you need to play the nickel, or guys that you want to play zone. Then you go get those guys, right? And then you, as a defensive coordinator, you package them in, and you put them in packages and situations you need to put them into to make them successful. Put them in situations and positions where they're going to succeed, not in positions and situations where they're going to fail. Again, we talked about Chase Young and Montez Sweat. These guys were pass rushers, but you saw them standing up and try to two-gap, right? And not doing what they're supposed to do. That's, as Chase Young said, they said that's what they was asked to do, right? They wasn't asked to go get the quarterback. Well, you see how he's doing in San Francisco when he's asked to go get the quarterback, right? You see how Montez is doing in Chicago when he's asked to get the quarterback. I've always been a big shit like Chase Young's technique. I never discounted his ability, but if you ask to do something as a player, go do it. But again, if the coach putting you in a bad situation, it doesn't work. Listen to the players, right? Yeah. Listen to the guys who are getting paid to do it.
Armand said, "How are you a former linebacker and can't find linebacker talent?" Ron and JDR.
True. That is true.
True. I mean, the Cody Barton thing amazes me. Like, just going into a situation and be like, that's going to be my starter. Knowing that you already got a guy in Jamin who's trying to learn to play the position and to me is improved. Like, I'm not going to be out here like crap on Jamin. He's improved, but like you need to start getting like, if you're going to get a guy to keep, building his confidence and continue to try to improve as a linebacker, give him a vet or a good vet who could still play at a high level beside him, and to make him a better player. Like Glenn always talks about
Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner was on the market.
Wagner was on the market. He was on the market. He came
in. Him with
Jamin
Davis would have been perfect. So Jamin can bounce ideas off of him, see how an all-pro elite player plays and how he thinks. That would have made Jamin Davis a better football player. Thoroughly, even a way better football player. But again, like they went with the Cody Barton route, a guy who played the wrong Seattle type of linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where it confuses me even on this unit. Like, yeah, you want to be young, but if you got a guy that you see that has a lot of potential with the speed and physical ability, right? And again, you don't even let him play the right way, to be honest with you. That's a whole nother argument. You don't have Jamin play the right way. Why not fix him in with somebody who's done it before in a high level, like in a Bobby Wagner, who can teach Jamin, make him a better football player, and then go from there? Didn't even try. I don't feel like didn't even attempt it. Didn't say that Bobby Wagner wanted to come here, but you didn't even attempt it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a Washington thing. Do you know what I mean? Like I mentioned Darius. I mean, though it's Shaq Leonard, that's a player to me. That would be to me just to have him in the building, to have a guy like Jamin to learn from a Shaq Leonard would be cool. But they don't think that way. They definitely don't. Big Simple 422 also put
Jack Vanderich. Isn't Vanderich, wasn't Vanderich a free agent or is a free agent?
Yeah, but he might have career-ending injury. That thing he may have one. Jack Del Rio didn't deserve Chase Young because he didn't put him in the best position to succeed. I agree. Totally I've been saying that. It wasn't for his defense wasn't for the DNs to eat. I think it was a little.
It was for the front four.
It's for the two. The tackles. The tackles in the two. It's for them to eat. But I back to what I was saying before. And I'm gonna say this earlier. I don't want Ron to look great as the DC. I don't. I'm sorry, because I'm gonna be highly pissed. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be highly. If Ron is out here and he looked good, I'm gonna go back to the Detroit game and say, like, bruh, why didn't you fire him after the Detroit game? Like, not Detroit game. Sorry, the Bears game. Because after any game, that would be the game to fire him. And at least you have enough of the season to kind of turn around. Because I know you couldn't have faith after watching that Bears game. Like,
no,
I don't know. Like, if I know my job is on the line, I speak like I'm doing what's best for me to keep my job. I don't think really, if you really were dissecting it and watching it, I don't think you really could have thought like Jack is the best. And the way this team was going, Jack is the best way for me to keep my job. I refuse to think that. Because especially if I'm a defensive dude, like I guess I'm a little different. Like if I'm a defensive dude and I think I could coach defensive ball, and the other dude is doing horribly, like it's a horrible his unit is bad. I'm gonna look at it like, dude, I could do better than this, man. I have confidence in me. Like I could turn this around myself. Like I could turn this around. I don't need you. I could turn this around. That's how I would look at it. And
most coaches would look. Most coaches would look at it like that. Like, hey, you know what? You're terrible right now. It's because of the defense. How much involvement behind the scenes in game planning week to week did Ron Rivera have in the defense say so? Right? Because again, how much did Jack Rivera share with Jack Del Rio share with Ron Rivera? Hey, you know what? We're running this. This is our concept. This is our scheme. We're gonna run. This is what we're gonna see. How much? That's the question. I think Ron Rivera, again, even though I believe this came from Josh Harris, I think Ron Rivera is still in a play to try to get a front office position somewhere with Washington after his head coaching stay, right? I think he still be evaluated by Josh Harris because they easily could say, you know what, everybody's gone. All right, EB, you here. We can promote this guy, promote this guy, bring this guy in. They could have done away with Ron Rivera. There's somewhere in there that Ron Rivera, it still has something to be able to do with his organization after he's long gone. Other than that, I would have let everybody go.
You think? I don't think he's gonna be part of the organization. Period. I think he's pretty much done his job.
Then why not let him go today?
Huh?
Why not let Ron go today too?
They're gonna let him finish the season. That's all. It's just this whole notion that finish the season. That's it. Like like I said, he could probably get better draft status too. The way he's coaching. So does it really matter? Like don't you want a good draft status? Don't you want good draft status? They lost 8 games already, bro. So
yeah, they lost 8 games. What I'm saying.
So
but you also got to look at who else is in the NFC East. So they only can give us so much. I mean, in the NFC, they only give us so much. You still got the Giants, right? You still got the Carolina Panthers.
They lost a tiebreaker to the Giants. They better not win a single game this year. They lost a tiebreaker to the Giants.
Right, but you still so they're draft stock. They're at best
the Bears can win about 2 more games, and again they would have the tiebreaker with Washington. Like Washington, like the Bears almost beat Detroit, so the Bears can, and they Justin Fields is back. The Bears can get wins.
But the Bears don't want to do that right now. The Bears have to pick them.
You see like they would compete against whatever. I feel like the Bears are in a more competitive realm than Washington right now. The way they're playing football, they're more. They have been more the last couple of weeks. They've been more competitive than Washington.
Well, look, if the season ended today, Washington would have the seventh. Washington would have the 7th pick in the draft.
Exactly. So why would you? So why a chance to get more W's if you got Ron? 7 is good. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. 7, you can get 7 or lower. So Ron wins a couple games, wins you game. I mean, not Ron. If EB wins you a couple more games, does that really help you? If you're not going to the playoffs, does that help you? But you already know what you got with Ron. You know what you got with Ron. I can see a scenario, and Josh Harris likes to, we saw what happened in Philadelphia when they were getting top first round picks. Armon Brown also put and in quotes, and with that being said, I'm all EV. I'm all ears. EV always says that. Why does EV have so much on Sam's plate? He is a 5th rounder with raw talent, and he throws more than Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, or Mahomes. Sam's set up to fail. This is my thing. Washington set up Sam to do too much because this defense is so bad. They have to be in.
They have to throw the thing game.
Yeah, throw the football. They got to throw the football because their defense is giving up points. You saw the Cowboys game. Like you got to match firepower with firepower. The Cowboys are scoring like in 3-4 minutes. So and that puts your offense or in the coordinators in a bind where now you gotta be in a shootout. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that he's putting like the defense has dictated, in my opinion, defense has dictated how Washington has to play football. Because if you're giving up explosive plays quickly, then you gotta have to score quickly, right?
And they did games, yeah, definitely. But they're games that we've seen that when EB has the lead, they're capable of running the football. But they have to put Sam in position to get the ball out of his hands so he doesn't get sacked. And when people are blocking your run, you got to throw the next best thing is a screen. The next best thing is a short pass. That is essentially your run. And while you guys out there, man, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I want to make sure we say that. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification, man. Show us some love, right? A lot of you guys are first timers, and we want to get your comments out there. Your first timers, but just hit the subscribe button. Those are watching us on Facebook. Those watching on YouTube. You're on Facebook, go ahead and like the page. But back to Ron. You asked the question earlier. If Ron this defense does improve, if Ron does win with this defense, and why he hadn't made the move earlier, he's too loyal. That's the biggest thing.
I agree.
The biggest thing, he didn't make his move. He didn't make this move earlier because he's too loyal. Sometimes your loyalty can't cloud your judgment, right? Yeah. You know we're bad, and that's why when we always asked by reporters, "Hey, are you gonna make a move?" I ain't gonna say nothing. Oh, are you gonna make a move? I ain't gonna say nothing. You gonna make a move? I ain't gonna say nothing. Even as yesterday, he was like, "I'm not asking that." And they asked, JP Finley asked, and some people asked like 3 different ways, and he was like, "No, I'm not gonna speak on that right now." Because again, instead of saying, "Hey, I need to really get rid of my boy," I need to get rid of my boy.
Yeah, I actually want just a new subscriber. I saw it. Henry Hernandez says, "I never want to lose, but this close to a top 5. But this I guess is too close to a top 5 pick. Gives me hope. Rivera till the end gets us closer to the goal of a better draft." I see, Henry. I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like why fire him if he's gonna get you the goal of having a better draft pick? He's been so incompetent that in terms of like not challenging plays.
So y'all don't want him to give this team some sense of false hope, right?
Why?
A sense of false hope, right? Rob Rivera is gonna try to get this team on a run. Y'all don't understand that. Rob Rivera is trying to coach for his next job, man. He's gonna try to get this team.
I'm keeping his buck. He ain't getting no next job. He's gonna be on TV. That's his next job. I'm gonna lie to you. The next
he can't be on TV. He can't be on TV.
He's gonna be on TV. Guaranteed, because he's a nice guy and everybody respects him. He's gonna be on TV.
But his personality, the way he talks, can't put him on TV.
I guarantee he'll be on a network. It'll be NFL network. He'll be on somewhere. I can guarantee he is not coaching in the NFL anymore. That I do know. Definitely not as a head coach. Cody Means said hard to play consistently good defense when the offense keeps them on the field. But they score fast. You watch that Cowboys game. It's not that consistent on the field. They score fast, Cody. They score pretty fast. Like, if you watch that Chicago Bears game, the offense didn't keep on the field. They were scoring fast. Like, these offenses move the ball on this team fast. That's why the explosive plays happen. The Eagles game, were they on the field often? Nah, offense scored fast. Like, this defense gives up points, explosive points quickly. It ain't. There's been I won't hold you. There's been occasions when the offense has done that, but mostly for real, the opposing offenses score pretty quickly against Washington. Go ahead.
They score quick on this offense. I mean, they score quick. I mean, look at last week the Giants, right? Giants 68-yard run. Go back to New England. New England scored twice on this defense in a matter of 3 minutes with the fumble and then come back to take the lead. So again, it goes back to you. This defense has given up more explosive plays than any other team in the NFL this year.
I'm gonna say what's up, mama. What's up, Dame? What's going on, homie? He said facts. He's too loyal. Yeah, man. Definitely. Way too damn loyal, bro. Way too damn loyal. My man, Dujanay said this offensive line isn't that great either, but the defense is giving up so many points. They have to pass the ball to push the ball downfield. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The defense plays a part in this, man. It plays a part in this, man. It does. It's unfortunate if you giving up points like that on an alarming basis. It's kind of hard. Henry said Rivera fired still gets his last year's salary and he will enjoy it on some beach. He's done. He's getting paid, bro. I agree with that. He's getting paid.
Yeah.
Also, Henry put out there. Also, because a new GM picker for the groceries will hopefully set us up with those picks. Yeah.
Bring Charlie Cassidy back, man.
Oh, is Charlie still doing stuff?
Hey, let's be honest. Charlie was a good GM for this team.
No, he was. No, I'm saying he's still doing stuff. I'm with you. I got another comment. We get some new comments, new folks. Keith Ewell said, "Who should really be our head coach next year?" Good question. Personally, I would like EB, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, we talked about this. I wouldn't mind Jim Harbaugh, but I don't think that's going to happen either. I don't know. It's up in the air. Like this. I do think that Josh Harris will try to get a dude that has clout and has like a name. If you look at what he's done in Philadelphia, it's pretty similar. Like that's how he's run the Sixers. The Sixers. If you're going to look at a comparison, like they had Doc Rivers, now that Nick Nurse. So and these are all championship coaches too. Like Doc won with Boston, and Nick Nurse won in Toronto with Kawhi. So if you're looking at it that way, he wants a known commodity, right? And then as players too, he's kind of that way too. So if we're looking at the Sixers as a comparison,
yeah, I mean to me, my favorite is always EB. I just think because EB needs a shot, right? EB needs a chance. In this organization, he should get a chance in this organization, in my opinion. We heard names like Bill Belichick name has been out there, right? And that's the name that's been out there a lot. And
Dan Quinn
mentioned,
Bill Belichick too. Ray just said Dan Quinn though. Go ahead.
Dan Quinn is a good name that could be out there. We talked about Harbaugh last night. Would be a good hire. We talked about that. I don't see him coming out. I wouldn't even. He's been removed from the game for too long. I would say a Bill Cowher, but he's been gone for too long. I don't think that works.
Oh yeah, that don't work either.
I think that would be a good name. I would love to see. This is a name that most people don't talk about. I think you mentioned it last night, Ben Johnson, right?
That's everybody keeps talking about. The one in Detroit. Yeah. A lot of people talk about. A lot of people talking about him.
Everybody talking about Ben Johnson. So I mean, that's a dark horse. But again, he doesn't fit the bill of like we talked about what Harris has done in 76ers with the 76ers. So Ben Johnson doesn't fit that bill.
Ooh, look at it. I like. Hey Cody, I like you, man. I love this one. Thanks for talking. He said on another live stream, people are pushing for Prime, knowing he won't coach pros. Just wanted to hear your response.
No.
I'm about people who changes cultures, right? Again.
And I love Prime because I've been a big Prime guy. He trades.
Oh, I'm not mad at that, Cody. Cody, I ain't mad at it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not mad at it. That's not a bad one to me. because I'm about inspiring, right? And I think in the NFL level, you got millionaires playing ball, and you need to inspire. Like professional athletes, it's about inspiring.
Okay.
And putting guys in this great situation. And he does, and if we look at how he does his staff, he does also cultivate a good staff. In college, though, we're talking college. I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't know what it fit here though. But I don't know. There would be some. I don't know. It would be weird because there would definitely be some bias, right? I'll put it this way: if they wanted to get Prime can only be a coach. He couldn't have any control.
No control. Yeah, you gotta have a GM. No
control. I think he would do some stuff that I wouldn't probably be in favor of. Like I think, because I like Sam Howell. I think Prime would probably be like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait for my son." Like I think I could see him doing that.
Right? Yeah. Boy, you took the words right out of my mouth. Don't get Prime because we get Shador, right? And you said that seven.
And I like Shador. Shador ain't coming out next year. He ain't coming out this year. But I'm saying I like Shador though.
Oh yeah, he's not coming out. No, he ain't coming out. He's staying. He's staying. Well, hey, why would a kid come out when you making more money? You're making more money with NIL deals in Colorado.
I like that one though. I like that one, Cody.
Why would you come out?
I like that one, Cody. That's gonna make me think. Now you're gonna make me think. I like that one, Cody. I ain't gonna hold you. I like that one. No, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I know Prime probably be better than Rivera.
I'll put it this way: you wouldn't have to worry about with the people coming out playing with energy every week.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
They would come out the locker room pumped with Prime.
And how bad is the secondary? And you telling me a Prime don't help the secondary?
I tell you who I really want, and this is the dark horse, and I can see this organization doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see if Mike Tomlin has a losing season in Pittsburgh, I can see Pittsburgh Pittsburgh getting rid of him.
He's got too many wins already. He ain't getting a losing season.
They don't have too many.
I mean, they're in a couple games over 500. They're fine. They're not even close to be under. I think if they lost, maybe 4 games, if that.
Not Pittsburgh. They're sitting third in the conference right now.
And what's their record though? Their record is not that.
Let me see if I can pull that up real quick.
I got it right now. I got it. They're 6-4. They're not. They're 6-4. They're not going to. They're 6-4. And they can get some W's. Mike Tomlin is safe. He will always be safe. That's not a guy that won't be here. The only individual, he's winning with Tomlin's fine. I would love to give him. He's fine.
They're looking to always get rid of that dude, man. They always
not the organization. Some fans are not the organization. Not some fans, not him, not the organization. Frank Henry said Frank Smith, OC from Miami to new coach. I like Miami system. I have if they change then Howell will have to learn a new system, hard to grow in a new offense every year. Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I would like ODB.
That's my fear. I don't want Sam Howell to turn into Jason Campbell. Right? And you know how it was when Jason Campbell was here. Every year, Jason, I think the 6 years he was here, he had 5 different offensive coordinators. That's what I do not want to happen to Sam Howell. That's why I'm really pulling for EB is keep Sam Howell in the system, let him grow and develop. Look what happened to, I'm not calling him a Mahone, but look at how Mahone developed in that system. And he got comfortable in that system. And he can really run things himself. You keep giving Sam Howell different offensive coordinators, you're going to set this guy back.
That's true.
And this team doesn't need to set back. We want the defense to be able to match the offense, right? We don't want the defense to be here and then the offense go back here. Then you'll be back in the same situation you were a couple of years ago. All Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio had to do this year is to bring the defense, keep the defense here, right? If they'd have kept the defense here and with where the offense is playing now, this team would have a decent record.
Yeah. I agree, bro.
Harbaugh's going to San Diego, man. I'm sorry. I think Harbaugh's going to San Diego. I see Keith.
You mean Chargers. Yeah. I mean, LA.
Sorry, excuse me. I'm an old school dude.
I know. I'll be doing the same thing, bro. I do the same thing. MPR 76 said keep the changes coming. Salute, my man. Also, I'm gonna read it. Yeah, the one you're referring to. Keith said, "Bring in Jim. I think he will work out if Michigan lets him go." Man, Jim will be amazing. Look, we had this discussion yesterday. Wherever Jim goes, Jim will be good. That I will say. Wherever he goes, Jim will be good. If it's DC, he'll be good here.
Pop that, yeah.
B. Baker, LOL, you guys are both foolish and immature and have no clue about football or how the NFL works. Oh, you're so nice.
No, explain to me, Mr. Baker. In your
Explain that,
comment,
though, my man.
explain that. That.
Yeah,
you got a coach
like
who's
that,
fired,
man.
and we talking. And the question was potential coaches. Please explain. I'm here for all of it. I'm here for all of it. It's Friday.
That's so
I
sweet.
Appreciate the comment. Explain to me how the NFL works, because Ron Rivera is not the head coach. You tell me anything other than different. Ron Rivera is a good head coach. We got problems. Ron Rivera is not the head coach.
Oh, that's sweet, man. Like I read off negative stuff too, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I like the smoke. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome, man. You keep it up, bro. Thanks for watching the stream, though.
Yeah,
that's why what I don't do is like respond to negative like tweets or comments and stuff like that, like with negativity, because folks just they're net gangsters, so I don't do stuff like
that. Sam is not the guy, but upgrade the line. Then we got one.
Sam, is that we okay?
Yeah,
yeah.
The line. Everybody knows that the line needs to be upgraded. I mean, if you get the 7th pick in the draft. If they lose and they get the 7th pick in the draft, and Ronda you have to go offensive lineman, right? There's 2 positions that this team has to go. You have to go offensive lineman, and you have to go linebacker, right? Mm-hmm. You have to go offensive lineman and linebacker. Is where the Washington Commanders have to go in order to make this team that much better. And if you can get more offensive linemen, you can pick and choose and give yourself a solid line. Because look at the line the Cowboys had last night. Like I said, Dak didn't get touched, right?
Yeah. Or even Jalen Hurts. Look at Jalen Hurts' line. He barely gets touched.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts' line, right? So offensive line has to be upgraded for this Commanders team to be able to compete in their own division. Because right now, think about it. Under Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio, this team is 0-5 in the division. Let's not forget that. Let's not make that. Let's not act like it's not 0-5. And they might be 0-6. They may not win a game in the division this year. I mean, the conference this year. So, the division.
I agree. But to that though, like it's something I've always mentioned that I think Sam is to me. Sam is the guy, but it's not like any situation. When you have a younger quarterback, it's more conducive to have a line like not just an average line, but just have a good to an elite line. You know what I mean? And Washington, the problem with Washington, they gave him such a bad line. It was a below average line, especially in pass pro and whatnot. So. Typically when you have a young quarterback, you do want to kind of give him a plus line. That way, when he doesn't see something good, he can hold the football. Because most young quarterbacks hold the football. Like that's an attribute for most young quarterbacks. So you do want to have him an opportunity, give him a good line where he can hold the football and kind of find a guy. You know what I mean? So I agree. I think that Washington has to go back to their roots. Like when we look at Washington growing up, for me growing up, they always built their line. They built their team based on that line. So, like, if you're old enough like me, for me, when I started watching football, it was Jim Lachey. Then we got Chris Samuels. Then we got obviously Trent Williams. So, like, they've always been in that, or even in the second round when they got John Jansen, right? John Jansen, like, it's always about building that line, and they haven't under Rivera. That hasn't really been a theme. Like a first round offensive lineman. That hasn't been a thing with Rivera. So yeah, I feel like for Washington, their goal, whoever the next GM is, if they can kind of get that situated, then the line, I think everything takes care of itself.
Yeah, I think so too.
Cody put out there on Facebook said O-line and a top tier tight end who can block, and Sam will be a top tier quarterback. Agreed. I think our O-line. And I'm kind of in respect to Logan Thomas, I'm kind of like, it's about time. Well, I think it's about time.
Question for you guys. Is Sam a top tier quarterback now? I mean, he's leading the league in passing, right? He's leading the league in completions.
Not everything.
Right. What else does Sam have to do? Right? First year as a starter. On a bad football team, he's leading the league in passing, leading the league in completions, which means spreading the ball around, putting points on the board. What else people
he's to me he's trending upwards. I mean he's young, still young. I don't think you're gonna get this is not the best you're gonna get from Sam. I do think Sam's gonna get better. But I do to Keith and to Cody's point, I believe that like an O-line is definitely the way to like an O-line, giving him an above average O-line will even make him a better 10 times of a better quarterback, right? I think he will be we will talk about him differently if you give him an elite O-line. Like we will talk about him differently. Like we wouldn't mention it. This wouldn't be a turnover thing or a sack thing. Like we would be talking about how Sam is really truly getting the ball out there and getting explosive plays. Because like we watch Jalen Hurts and we see like how he gets these explosive plays, but we look back and you look at how much time he has in that pocket to have those explosive plays. You saw with Dak, granted against our front four, you saw how many explosive plays he got because he can sit back and pick apart. He can sit back and not worried about being touched. When Sam will get to it, if the new GM puts him in a situation where he's not able to get touched, I believe that, to your point, like, all right, we can be in a situation where we could talk about Sam in a different light. A comment also on YouTube, I guess LMAO, they can't draft anyway. Y'all took Chase over a quarterback. I guess you're talking about the quarter. Well, I mean, I'll put it this way. Whoever they drafted, I'm not even sure they'll be good over here because of what they set up here. Let's put it that way.
Right.
And that quarterback have been working with Scott Turner, so you take that with a grain of salt. Let's keep the buck. That quarterback been working with Scott Turner. Henry on YouTube said our money in free agency will help get more pieces like DN, secondary help on the top, help on top of drafting O-line, agreed, and linebacker. We can have a decent start to whoever is here next. More important is the new GM. I agree. Totally agree with that. Everything you just said was spot on.
The new GM is really good.
Yeah, because I don't think, spot on.
Now, this is the question: will they let the new GM fire Ron Rivera, or Josh Harris going to make that fire? Make that fire after the day.
Yeah,
not today, but make that fire after the end of the season.
Appreciate you, Henry. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you. Here we go. And are there any picks still left on this team from previous draft? Ooh, it would be under the Rivera regime.
You got Terry McLaurin on the regime.
No, that's not Terry. That's
I mean you got Jahan on the regime.
Yeah, Jahan. You have Jahan.
You got Jamin Davis.
You got Curl. You got Jamin. And I'm trying to think who else you got. Who actually play. Percy Butler, I guess you can say.
Yes.
St. Juice is under who? I think I gotta remember who St. Juice is under. But I know Curl is under. Curl was drafted when Chase got here. I think St. Juice may be before. Keith also said $1 million question in the draft. Will we be mad if they draft a QB first? All right, so this is the thing. The only QB I want them to draft for, like, I'm gonna lie to you. There's only one QB that I'm cool with like drafting. There's only one. And May's a beast. Don't get it twisted. But there's only one. It's Caleb. If you luck around, if you lose that many games, and for some strange reason you're not going to, you end up getting the first pick overall. It's Caleb. That's it. Everybody else is like they could be gone.
Yeah, but Caleb doesn't fall to the Washington Commanders.
He's not. That's what I'm saying. He's not going to. That's what I'm saying. That's the only one. Sounds like y'all banking on rookies to turn this team around isn't easy. I'm not rookies. It's rookies and the GM and free agency. I do Washington has a lot of money. To what Henry was saying earlier. Washington does have a lot of money, so they have money to spend on free agents. So it's a mixture of two. It's drafting because in the draft for where Washington is at, they need a left tackle, right? We all can say they need a left tackle. And typically nobody's letting a left tackle out there on the market. Like you have a good high end left tackle, you're going to keep your left tackle. You're going to franchise. You're going to do whatever it takes to keep him, unless you're Washington. You give Trent Williams, whatever.
Who played very well last night.
Yeah, I know, right? So you're gonna have to draft a left tackle. So you got the Penn State kid and the kid from Ohio and the kid from Notre Dame. Those are two dudes that you're probably gonna try to get. One of the dudes you're gonna try to get. So so that would help you in terms of the O-line. Then after that, in terms of some of the other players like secondary help and this, that, and the other, you can do that in free agency. Man, Dan Quinn leaving. Dan Quinn may be leaving. Dan Quinn want to be a head coach. I don't know where he's going, but I could definitely see Dan Quinn. I can definitely see Dan Quinn going somewhere. I think it's about time that Dan Quinn's about to be a head coach again. He coached in Atlanta, and now he's having ultimate success in Dallas. I think Dan Quinn next season is his year to leave Dallas. I have a feeling. Keith said, "I have a feeling they might go after Bo Nix." I don't. Bo Nix is like how old? He's been in college for how long?
He's been in a long time.
I mean, I can see it. I mean, or the kid. I kind of had a feeling like in the back of my head is the kid from Washington. I'm thinking that they may even. That's the one I think I'm kind of scared about. The one from Washington. I feel like that could be a person they go after. But man, they gotta. I hope the new GM doesn't do it. You know what I mean?
No, Bo Nix, he's 23.
He's 23. That's for. I mean, he's been in college. Okay, 23. Yeah. That's So 20. Is he turning 24? Like he about to turn 24?
24 February. 24
in February. Yeah, I know that's old for like a rookie quarter. I mean, for a rookie quarterback. I ain't say it's Chris Winkie old, but it's old enough. You know what I'm saying? It's old enough. Would you want Dujane say, would you want Dan Quinn here in Washington? If he keep EB, probably so. I think Dan Quinn can coach defense. His track record speaks for itself. He coached defense well in Atlanta, coached defense well in Seattle. He was in Seattle. Defense, he was a defensive minded head coach, but in Seattle, when he was a DC, he was a great defensive coordinator in Seattle. I think he would improve the defense. I wouldn't have a problem with Dan Quinn being here.
Defensive minded guy. If he's defensive minded, I always believe if you got a defensive minded coach, you got to have a good OC.
Yeah, and I feel like he would keep. I feel like he would be more inclined to try to keep EB if EB wants to be here. I think he would. Long, bro. Long, hello, bro. Yeah. So I kind of think that way. But yeah, I mean, those are guys I would kind of.
Is this a happy day for Commander fans? Like,
I think so.
You just got off a 35-point loss last night, right? Got Jack Del Rio fired today. Are all Commander fans happy when the news brought out of Jack Del Rio's firing? Is this something to go celebrate about?
Celebrate? I think folks are celebrating. I think folks are happy.
But again, what are you celebrating though? That Jack Del Rio's gone? We knew he was going to be gone at the end of the year. Is it that you want to see Ron Rivera do better? What are you celebrating?
I'll tell you. But let me read this one. I like how, but I like his 5th round salary to build the team. So if he does not work out, then we go get someone else after 2 years. I like that too. That's a very good point. All right, so I'm gonna tell you why. It shows you that there would not the new era is happening. That's why it's a good day. Like it's showing you that they're not firing everybody, but it's like okay, it's a new era. And also on the real, it shows you some competence, right? Because you're not acting like me, like a fan, like how the previous owner would be. Like, yeah, I want everybody fired, like I do. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm irrational though. I'm irrational. Like I'm keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? I'm irrational, but I do think that like you're seeing a sense of maturity within the ownership group and the owner to a point where like, all right, this season isn't going the way we want it. All right, we want change, but we're not going to try to do a full sale. Like, hey, okay, Ron, you got to get rid of Jack. He's just not producing. All right, let's see what you can do. You know, we'll keep you on for the whole year and, you know, see what happens. And then after the season, we'll assess it. We know what's going to happen, but we're going to assess it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you're a fan, you're looking at the situation like, all right, this is how a real grown up ownership group works.
Yeah.
So, and they're trying to change the vibe in DC. So I get it. Like I understand. Like I feel like if I don't think it's happy. Like obviously you want to win. Like right.
Yeah.
Like you want to win. You want to go to the postseason. If you were into sports, it's all about competing at a high level and winning, not losing. But also when you're playing like this, you do want some change though. Some change will make you feel a certain way. Cody also put out there, I'm not celebrating anything until I hear Washington is now on the clock. I like that, Cody. I like that.
Yeah.
I gotta hear. Henry's, I gotta tell my kids who have never seen them win, the big change is coming. Yeah, I think it's
a good point. We talked about that last night, right? Where we talked about, some people in this lifetime have never seen the Washington Commanders win.
Yeah.
And then you got under Ron Rivera, you never saw them go over 500.
Yeah.
So let's put that in perspective. He would never go over 500 as the head coach of the Washington Commanders.
Yeah. I mean, Look, man, I'm gonna say this because I feel like I've been bashing Rivera. I feel like I think Rivera's a nice guy from a distance. I don't know him personally, but I feel like he's a nice guy. I do think his players like him, so I will say that too. I think a lot of people try to convey like his players like him. You could tell. They play like those runs happen during the parts of the season, because I felt like they played for Ron, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it is what it is. When the game passes you by, the game passes you by, and your message isn't resonating as hard as it was, initially. I thought year one, it was improvement from what we saw the prior year. So he deserves credit for that.
He does.
Play Alex Smith. He deserves credit for that.
The way he handled the scandals and all that during his
he deserves credit for that, man. He deserves credit for that.
But you have to, in order to change the message, right? You have to win football games. If
exactly.
you want your message to win, you want people to keep following your message or keep following and doing it the way that you want to do it. There got to be a change, and winning football games is that. If he wins football games, as somebody mentioned, the Joel Osteen message will continue if he was winning football games.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Keith also put out if we can win 10 games next season, we will get in the playoffs. I believe it can happen 100%. Yeah, I mean, I felt like, to be honest with you, I felt like the talent they had coming to this season, I felt like that should have happened this year, but it didn't. And
I think
it's not that in football things happen, but the way they played and the way they lost games, the way the defense played, especially the defense. If you told us, this is my argument when we talk about the offense, right? If you would have told us that we were scoring games where we hit 30s, we'd be in the 30s, the high 20s, you would say to me like, "Oh man," and we have a passer like Glenn said is up there like number one in passing yards and completions, right? You would say to me, "Oh, Washington be a playoff team." That's what you would tell me. You would tell me we're a playoff team. Because you know why? We were banking on defense to be good. I'm not even saying I expected them to be great because I feel like the talent says they can be great, but they just say we expect them to be good. This team would be if I had told you that in the off season, you would have said, "Oh, they're going to the playoffs." That's exactly what you would tell me. You would say they're going to the playoffs. So that's why I thought going to the season, like, all right, this team could be a playoff team. Now, just to have it to a point where this defense has been so bad, I'm like, bruh, like, come on. Like this season played out in a way where, like, if you were like telling me like the offense showing some progress and the defense isn't, I'm like, and defense has gone 10 times backwards. Not just backwards, but 10 times backwards. Yeah, this is what made the season a little bit more disappointing. Very disappointing, to be honest with you.
Is it backwards, or did they show us who they were? Because they started this way last year, where they would flip a switch, right?
Yeah, but they like you said it. But they play in the totality of the season. They weren't this.
Yeah,
like they always give up big explosive plays. Don't get it twisted. I've always said that. Like something about this defense, they just give up explosive plays, and it's not even explosive plays off pressure. They just give up explosive plays in coverage on the back end. But at least they would figure something out to a point where they're setting they're not the reason. You know what I mean? Like last year, they were awesome on third downs, on stopping folks on third downs. You know what I mean? Like now they giving up third and longs on a constant basis.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. Like they're just not. This season isn't. If you told me that this offense would be able to score points like we've scored this season, and we were able to move the football with a rookie quarterback, and I would say, oh, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be good, but not. But I didn't think because the defense being so bad, we were gonna be like this. Like, nah, I didn't expect that. No, Amara said, "Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more."
No more. Yep. Oh, we ain't gotta worry about seeing Jack Del Rio anymore in Washington. No.
Yeah, we ain't worried about that. Keith, the first two games, how we won, I had us as a lock in playoff in the playoff as a playoff team. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like the Cardinals win because I thought we should dominate the Cardinals. I mean, everybody, if you listen to our first show, I did not.
Yeah,
I did not like it as much, but they won, right? But the game against, I thought we were a playoff team when we beat Broncos. Yeah, I thought we were a playoff team. I thought we were. I thought we were.
I thought we had turned the corner a little bit. I still was worried they gave up 45 points. I thought that maybe they found something that turned the corner.
Me too.
Then when they laid out the goose egg against
the Bears, and to be real, even the loss against the Eagles, I was like, okay, like, okay, we're gonna be one of them in the NFC. Like I thought so. On the road to play that well, I thought so. Dujane said that that's why my prediction had 10 to 11 wins. I expected the defense to be way better. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. It's the defense.
I think everybody did.
Yeah. That's why it does. It goes back to, the premise of the breaking news. It goes on Jack. Like, at the end of the day, like, you're the representative of your of that unit. And your unit is underperformed. You know what I'm saying? And I guess this is my question to folks listening. Do you think it's too late to fire Jack? Like, if you had to fire Jack, when would you have fired Jack? For me, it would have been the Bears game. After the Bears game. I want to hear from you all. Like, when do you think would have been a good time to fire Jack?
You mean this season, right?
This season. No, sorry, this season. Not last season or anything other. This season.
I'd have fired him last.
Some folks would say like off the rip. Yeah, I know, like last season. The year before last, right?
The year before last. The Bears, to be told honest with you, even though they won the game, I really was concerned, and I said it after the Denver game. I think I said it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, I was concerned after the Denver game because you gave up those many points to Russell Wilson.
That's
true. Quick, because I was like, and whatever
he was
Sean Payton them did, they changed their offense because they should have blew Washington out the building that game.
Yeah, that game. Yeah. Here you go. Keith said the fourth game. The fourth game was the fourth game. Was that the? I gotta check. Which game is that one now? I gotta go back and check. Now I go back and look at Washington's schedule. Let's see.
Both games could have been Eagle. No, was it Eagle game?
We went 2-1. I don't think it was Eagle. Maybe it's the Bears game. Is that the Bears game? I'm about to find it right now. Anywhere. I'm gonna pull up. Here you go. Fourth game. I got it. I'm gonna get it right now. Fourth game is after the Eagles game. Right after the Eagles game.
Yeah,
after the Eagles game.
Because
it's after Keith, after or before the Eagles, after or before that the fourth game is the.
I'm gonna tell you why after the Eagles game, and we can wrap this because he didn't make any changes. You saw the young fella getting burnt, and you saw the young guy.
Oh, gotcha.
You didn't do anything to help him. You didn't do anything to help him.
AJ Brown, yeah.
With AJ Brown, right? If you made some type of changes with Emmanuel Forbes during the Eagle game, the Commanders win that game. Remember, they led most of that game.
True.
They led most of that game, and all you got to do is make a couple changes, and they walk away with a win against the defending NFC champs.
Facts. Good point.
If you make some changes, so that's why I said the fourth game. I definitely agree with that.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Now you think about it. Think about it that way. That makes sense. No adjustments. So it does make sense.
No adjustments.
Yep. He said after just like he said no change. Okay, I got you, Keith. Yeah. After just like he said no change. Yeah. Agreed, man. All right. Well, thanks to everybody for tuning in, man. This has been kind of dope. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you guys, man. We
appreciate
you, news man. And Jack Del Rio's gone, and hopefully there is a change on next Sunday. We'll see.
Hopefully. And like Glenn said, if you're watching this on YouTube, man, make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel. Hit the red subscribe button. Come on, like this video if you're watching. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We appreciate you all. If you are a regular visitor to the channel, we always appreciate the love, man. If you have an opportunity to like this video, also if you watch this on Facebook, make sure you like our All Burgundy and Gold Everything Facebook page. Like it, follow us on Facebook. Same for X. We are All Burgundy and Gold Everything on X. So just follow us on X. We stay talking. Try to talk the real, right? We try to talk the real. Try not to be do the bias stuff. So I have my favorites too. So I don't act like I don't have my favorites. I have a bias, but also if you spit something to me. You spit something to me on the real, I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't going to hold you. I'm gonna be real with you. So just let y'all know that we appreciate y'all for tuning in. You can also just make sure if you're an audio listener of podcasts, you can subscribe to our podcast, our All Burgundy and Gold everything. All Burgundy and Gold Everything podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Everything. If you're looking for our exact tweet, X account or whatever, hit us up on Twitter, on X at ABG_everything, and hit us up on IG. We do have an IG account at ABG_everything. You spell everything like ERRRYTHING. We got 3 R's on everything, so letting y'all know that off the rip. Just appreciate you all for tuning in again, man. It's been a blessing. I know we appreciate that, man. Appreciate the love we got today. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia for ages. You dig? Deuces. We out. Hit the road, Jack.